Good morning. So I'm driving to the lake right now, so my service may kind of go in and out. I don't even know if my mic is working. Hold on. I may have to just restart this whenever I get there. What's up this morning, feelings? Can you hear me? Is my mic working? Let me know if my mic is working, so I might have to disconnect my Bluetooth. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, well, I'm driving, and it's like this area that I'm driving in is not that great for service, and I'm on my cell phone. So let me get to where I'm going because I want to address some stuff that LA said yesterday that I really didn't get to hear until this morning. I'm almost there, guys. Hold on. This is what I get for like going live on my cell phone and trying to drive time. Let me know if you can hear me any better. I think I'm kind of out of the dead zone. Just let me know whenever you can hear me. I'm going to talk a little bit, and if my mic is still staticky, I might have to go out and come back in or restart. You can hear me, but it's staticky. Okay, hold on a second. I decided to come out to the lake this morning to drink my cup of coffee, so I love it out here. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Can everybody hear me? Is it better, or do I need to go out and restart? All right. We're on. So I just listened to a little bit of what LA was saying yesterday. And he said some shit about what was it like he ain't never gonna be cool with me until I'm real with him. Let me tell y'all something. When I went to Michigan, I did not go on bad intentions. I didn't do no shady shit. I was real. Now, he keeps playing this stupid ass shit that he calls the rape tapes. LA, knock it off. First of all, everything that we had done in that room on Friday night was all for show. I knew that you were recording everything. You recorded everything. If I was attempting to try to do something with you, or even do something with you behind my friend's back, do you honestly think I would do something like that knowing you're fucking recording me? I mean, let's think about it. Let's think about it seriously. You recorded every damn thing. You were even recording people in the damn uh, bar, club, whatever you want to call it. You were even recording people there to the point where a lady walked up to you and said, "Please stop recording my friends." The phone never left your hand. You were recording every single thing. So, for you to call what you have, sorry, y'all, my throat is very froggy this morning. For you to call what you have rape tapes, you're an idiot. Because I knew you were recording everything we said and did. Now, show me something that secretly you recorded that I wouldn't have known about. And then call that a rape tape, you dumbass. I never tried to be with you, LA. Never. Never. I even sat and told you to your face that I remember when you told me that you had a crush on me, Lamar, and I even sat and told you to your face that I never had a crush on you. I told you that there was an attraction to the roast, never to you. And I'm sorry if that must have hurt your feelings because you love to talk about me in the most foulest ways. And when I said that I'm trying to be copacetic with you, that doesn't mean that I have to communicate with you. That just means I'm on a mutual ground to the point where, like, if you come here to Kansas City, I don't want to fucking know you're in my town. And if my homegirl decides to go back to Benton Harbor or Michigan or wherever, I won't be going with her. That's what the fuck that means. That means that when you have a relationship with somebody and your friends don't get along with that person, you can keep those relationships completely separate. I don't need to know shit about you, just like you don't need to know shit about me. It has nothing to do with trying to be friends with you. I don't give a fuck about being your friend because I see how you do your friends. I don't need friends like you, dude. I could have went to Michigan on some straight bullshit. I could have gone to Michigan and I could have like tried to be sneaky and record silly stuff or take, sneaky photos. I could have done all of that, but I was not on no bullshit. So he wants to talk about being real. Let's talk about being real. In LA, you love to tell the story about something about like you came up behind me and put your weenus on my ass. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you did that, because I'm telling you, you didn't do that. But if you did do that, I have no fucking idea. I was drinking a lot that night, yes. And I really, listen, y'all think that I'm just like some kind of like a white trash lush, but I'm not because I don't drink that often. But when I do drink, I drink. So I had been drinking a lot that night. And yes, we were acting silly. And yes, we were acting stupid. But it was all for the entertainment of YouTube. That was it. It was just YouTube entertainment. I never tried to get with LA. I never wanted to try to get with LA. I never had any intention of going to Michigan and being with LA. That was never my intention. That was never my desire. That was never my whatever. So, Lamar, if you happen to walk up behind me and put your weenus on my ass, I do not know. As far as I recall, that never happened. But you say you don't lie. But you say you don't lie. And you say you don't lie, Roast. So either you did that shit without my fucking knowledge or you're lying. Which is it? I know, Jafar, and it's stupid. I knew he was recording. I knew he was recording. You say that I was attempting to rape you, but yet you put your weenus on my butt without my knowledge? Are you kidding? Come on, LA. Let's not play this game. Let's not play this fucking game. And you say all this horrible stuff about me, yet your weenus managed to get an erection. I'm confused. Because I know that if I'm not attracted to somebody, I don't get any type of sexual feelings towards a person. Listen, whenever I meet somebody, or like in the past, whenever I've dated, if I did not have a sexual attraction to that person, I felt nothing, nothing at all. And there was nothing that person could have possibly have done to turn me on because you're either attracted or you're not attracted. No, Jafar. No, she does not because she knows me. She knows me very well. And I would never do something like that. I would never do something like that. You think that of all, okay, let's go a step further. Let's go a step further. Out of all the years, out of all the years that has been my best friend, I have never once, ever tried to get with a dude that she was with behind her back. And all of a sudden, you think you can change that? Are you fucking kidding me? Mm. All of a sudden, LA can step on the scene and he can change that. Out of all the years that we have been best friends, we have never been with the same dude. We've never tried to be with the same dude. We've never messed with the same dude behind each other's backs. We've never done none of that shit. And now all of a sudden, LA thinks he's the golden one that could actually make that happen. Are you fucking kidding me? Knock it off, dude. Knock it off. I was not attracted to you in any way. Exactly, Jafar. But like I just said, out of all the years that we have been best friends, neither one of us have ever done that to each other. Ever. And Lamar is certainly not even close to the type of man for me that could ever change that. Yes, I have issues with my husband. Yes, I do. And I was honest about that. But everything that I have said about Harry, I have told him to his face. No, I'm not taller than LA. I'm really not. I'm really not taller than LA at all. He is a little bit taller than I am, and I'm 5'10". Listen, like me and Harry get into some hellacious arguments about things, okay? We get into some hellacious arguments about things. And I have told him like many times, like he needs to fix some things about himself. Like I have been like I'm 100% with the dude. And you know what, LA? Harry knows about Quentin. So what are you talking about? You can try to shame me or make me look bad or whatever, but you don't know what goes on in my real life. You think that Harry don't know about Quentin? Please. He knows. I've told him. I told him. So the fuck you talking about? Up here trying to make it look like, oh, she's married to this guy, but she's fucking this guy and da da. Shut up. Shut up. You don't know what the fuck goes on in my real life. You don't know what the fuck goes on in Kansas City. He knows about him. So what you gonna do now? What you gonna say now? But Harry and Quentin will never be a Lamar. If that is really Clifton, can someone channel check? Is that really Clifton? Somebody channel check that and tell me if that's really Cliff. Because that's the thing though, Cliff, like you don't have to be done with this YouTube shit. You don't have to be done with this YouTube shit. I'm just confused on why you did what you did after I thought after the talk that we had a good plan. I'm so confused by what you did. Feelings. If the dude was the same height as me, I would say that. I would say that. If LA was the same height as me, I would say, you know what? He's about the same height as me. I said he's a little bit taller than me. So he might be like 5'11, whatever, but he is a little bit taller than me. No, B Dub, channel checking is not impossible. People have found a way to do it. But if LA was the same height as me, I would say that. But literally, like, he is a little bit taller than I am. And I'm not saying anything to defend him or make him look good. Trust and believe that. I'm not saying nothing to defend him or make him look good. When I say that I did not see the brown tooth in his mouth, I wasn't really looking for it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I wasn't up there on no bullshit. I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't all up in his mouth. I didn't kiss him. I wasn't even really looking at his mouth. I was not even looking for it. And then whenever he said that on Saturday night, when listen, okay, so Friday night we were lit. Okay, Friday night was lit. I was drinking. Chaos and his wife were there. We were all drinking. We were all having a great time. We had the whole place jumping. Everything was kicked off. Dudes were acting hilarious. Shit was cool. On Saturday night, when we got back from Detroit, on Saturday, okay, we made the 2.5 hour drive back. We get there and we go upstairs, change our clothes. We go back downstairs to the bar. Yes, the bar was packed, but the bar was like so packed that night that number one, it was like hard to even get in to get a drink because there were so many people surrounding the bar. And I knew that we had a long drive home on Sunday morning. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it because, like, on a Saturday night, if you know you have to get up early on a Sunday, you ain't trying to kick it. No, if we didn't leave till Monday, I would have kicked it on Saturday night. But on Saturday night, I wasn't feeling it. The bar, it was so packed. You could hardly get in to get a drink. I knew I had to get up early on Sunday morning to head home. I wasn't feeling it. It never had shit to do with, oh, she was sad because I wouldn't fuck her. Are you fucking kidding me? That is the lamest shit I have ever heard in my life. I wasn't feeling it on Saturday night. When I have to get up and travel the next day, I don't drink. I don't turn up. The dude is ridiculous. He's ridiculous. And his stories are even more ridiculous. Now, I said that I was going to stop talking about Lamar because I am trying to stay like on a mutual ground and not for his sake. Not for his sake. I don't talk bad about him behind his back. Man, you're an idiot. You're an idiot, clout chasing failure. That is so not even fucking close to true. I love my husband. And anybody who knows me in real life will tell you that despite the problems that I have with him, I love that man. Yes, the Phantom, he was. He was a lot. He didn't really talk about it a whole lot, but he was like, he was watching everything. He was watching everything. And he was just like curious as to like when we did that live and we came out on Friday night, why the sector was so quiet on Saturday. But at the same time, like I think that we were all curious, like, what the fuck? Nobody's saying shit. Like, what's going on? What are they thinking? And then Talia came out and said that Mike thought that I was in Atlanta, so he was hiding for the weekend. That shit was kind of funny. Probably so, Jafar. Probably so. But still, even at the same time, like I'm still curious to know why he did what he did. We had like a solid proof plan, and it got fucked up. Oh, never, Barney. Never. I would have never, never. Listen, y'all keep saying the same thing. A 600-mile drive for YouTube views, shaking my head. Who gives? Listen, it was a weekend, okay? It was a weekend. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? I travel all the time. So driving 600 miles for a weekend to hang out and whatever is not a big deal to me. Shit, if you ain't got shit to do on a weekend and if you got money in your pocket, why the fuck not? Are y'all really just hating on the fact that like I have the money to go wherever I want to whenever I choose to? Like, what is the real deal here? Barney Rubber, you about to go, dude. You about to go. It wasn't even really about just necessarily driving 600 miles. I mean, for me, it was. For me, it was about driving 600 miles because we have been planning that. It's not just something that was done on a whim. It was something that had been planned. But there was more to it. There was more to it than just doing it for YouTube views. There was more to it. Please understand that these people don't leave home at all. Exactly. Listen, I'm leaving on Wednesday. I'm leaving on Wednesday. I'm going. My birthday is on Friday. Hey, I'll be 40. Hey, and my husband and I are leaving on Wednesday. We are going to. He's taking me to Colorado to go whitewater rafting because that's one of the things that I enjoy doing. I love whitewater rafting, so that's where he's taking me. Is whitewater rafting. I'll be in Colorado from Wednesday until Sunday. October, I'm leaving for Florida, and sometime between July and October, I'm sure I will go somewhere else. I travel. I love to travel. I love to go new places. Even though Colorado's not new. I've been there many times. Yeah, we're staying right outside of Denver in this really cute little place in the mountains. So he's rented us he did an Airbnb cabin in the mountains for the 4 days, 5 days, whatever that will be there. We're going whitewater rafting and then the because it's an all day thing. The whitewater rafting trip that we're doing is an all day adventure, and then the next day we are going kayaking. We have a 2-person kayak, and we're gonna kayak down the river. Those are things that I enjoy doing. So that's how I'm going to be spending my birthday is doing things that I enjoy. And if I hear one more time out of Mike Mills's mouth, leaving your children at home, my children are grown, homie. My kids are grown. My youngest, I mean, he's 16, but that's damn near fucking grown. He's old enough to do his own laundry, take care of himself, cook for himself. He's old enough to do all that. Right feelings. Yeah, so VW, you know what I'm talking about. You like to do that kind of stuff too. Yep. I mean, I enjoy being away from home. After raising kids my entire teenage and young adult life, because I mean, let's keep it real. I raised children my whole teenage and young adult life, my late teenage and young adult life, okay? Into my 30s, past my 30s. Let's put it that way. Past my 30s, I have been raising children my entire life. I've been working my ass off and raising children my whole life. And this is a time in life I now get to live for me. So, yes, I go places. Yes, I don't stay at home very often, but I have the money and the freedom to do that. In the Bay, yeah. Oh, I bet that was kind of hard though, B-Dub. Did you have much like current to move around in, or did you have to do a lot of paddling? First of all, Jafar, Kevin Leroy and I were never planning no fucking trip. That's not even close to true. And for him to lie on my son, I mean, that's just, I'm not even going to talk about that dude because I'm so over it. If that dude wants to continue to sit and make up lies and tell stories, let him if it makes him feel important. But at the end of the day, like I said, he needs to not forget that I'm the one that made him fucking famous. So if he wants to sit around and lie to be famous, if he got a lie to kick it, let him. Let him. But I guarantee you that motherfucker would never come back to Kansas City and say that shit to my son's face. I bet he would never come and say that to my son's face. My 16-year-old son is 6'2" and 245 pounds. He would never come say that shit to my son's face, guaranteed. And wears a size 14 shoe. So you can talk shit online all you want to about my sons, but I guarantee you not a near motherfucker would step to them. My 18-year-old is 6 foot and 220 pounds. Yes, he's tiny. He's tiny. He is. And I'm going to say this again because what I said was 100% fact and truth. Fact and truth. And even Homegirl backed me up on this when I was talking to Lamar in his face. The pictures that Kevin Leroy sends around on YouTube, it could be him. It could be. I don't know. But if it is him, they were like 20-year-old pictures because when dude got off the plane and I saw him, I'm like, the fuck? That does not look like the dude in the pictures. He does not look like the pictures that he passes around. 100% truth. He is not all muscular looking like that. His skin is not smooth like that. And he has no bottom row his damn self. So let's keep it real. Clout chasing, he says so. I don't know. I've never seen his medical history because, like, okay, so a lot of the pictures that he passed around to a lot of us different women. See, you don't think that us women didn't compare behind the scenes. You think that me and J Life and Kiki didn't compare shit behind the scenes. So at the time that I was dealing with Kevin Leroy, he had sent me these pictures, right, of like this hospital shit, and then he sent me like pictures of this thing on his eye. Well, a whole year and something later, when he was talking to Kiki and when he was talking to J Life, he sent them the same pictures trying to act like that was recent or current. But he had sent me the same pictures a whole year and something prior to sending those pictures to them. So I don't know what the fuck is real. I don't know what is real. But the dude does not tell the fucking truth. He does not. And Lamar has some kind of weird obsession and connection with this dude that he believes everything that comes out of his mouth. The dude does not tell the whole fucking truth himself. They love to talk about what happens in Cat's life, what goes on in Cat's life, how much money Cat makes, what Cat does for a living. Fuck all y'all. Some things you will never know. Exactly, clout chasing. That's what I'm saying. He has some weird obsession. He's got some weird obsession with the dude. And he takes everything that comes out of his mouth as gold. I'm not discrediting the fact. I'm not discrediting the fact that he is a nice guy. Okay. When I first met him, he was a very nice guy and he does do a lot of things for a lot of people. And for that, I'm not discrediting him for that. But if you feel like you have to come online and buy friendships, then something is really wrong in your life. Good morning, 5 star. Something is really wrong in your real life that you feel like you have to come online and buy friendships. No, let me ask this. This is his best friend, okay? This is his best friend, yet they've never met. Now, you throw around all this money to all these women on YouTube, but you've never taken the time to come up with the money to go meet your best friend? You chase all these women on YouTube, but yet you live in a city, dude, with how many hundreds of thousands of women and you can't get one there? Rio, get the fuck out. I hate you, bitch. I can't stand that bitch. All of a sudden, he thinks he's YouTube famous. Get the fuck on, Rio. You ain't shit. You're retarded. Listen, I don't even want to hear shit about Mike Mills and no money. That dude has shown quote unquote 6,000. He's shown $6,000 so far this year on camera, but he ain't shown a new grill. I mean, think about it. Mike Mills, one time he flashed 5 grand on camera. Another time he flashed 1,000 on camera. Flash the dentist, homie. Flash the dentist. Rio James is a dick sucking fool. The Phantom, I don't know because when he does come, I don't even care to know that he's here. To be honest, if he even comes, I don't even care to know if he's in my city. I'm gonna keep it 100. I would not care to know if he was here or not. And it's so funny. Like I love whenever they talk about my shit. If they remember correctly, way back when, like in 2015, 2016, my medical docs were exposed. So they could say whatever the fuck they want to. It's funny how they forget shit. It's funny how they forget real shit, but always want to talk about bullshit. Well, I mean, if he comes up with the money to get here, that's on him. If he comes up with the money to get here, that's on him. I just don't care to know if he's here or not. Maybe he can't leave his city, but I leave mine all the time. I'm constantly traveling. This is what? Well, it's still June. It's the end of June. It's almost the 7th month of this year, and I've already been to 24 states just this year. And my Hawaii trip had to be canceled because of COVID-19. Otherwise, I would have been kicking it in Hawaii in the beginning of this month. I would have just gotten back from Hawaii and then gone to Michigan. I feel like I'm hardly ever at home anymore. Like I be traveling all the time. And the funny part is all these dudes that like to talk shit about money and people being broke. I don't ever see them going nowhere. I don't ever see Mike Mills leave that empty bedroom. He hopped off YouTube because he had to go drop somebody off, not because he had to go catch a plane or because he was leaving for vacation. All these people that sit around and talk all this bullshit about who's fucking broke don't never go nowhere. But the one that ain't broke, the one y'all love to call broke, is always going somewhere. Ponder that one. So for the month of July, I'll be spending the first part of July in Colorado, doing what I love, being in the mountains, whitewater rafting. I have a trip planned in October. The middle of October, I'm flying down to Florida. Um, but I got to figure out somewhere to go between August and September because I usually go somewhere at least once a month. So I don't know. I'll probably take a weekend and go to Tennessee. I might even take a weekend and go down to New Orleans. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm positive between July and October, I will end up being somewhere. And then, like I announced yesterday, my daughter is having a baby. So before the baby is born, which the baby is due December 3rd. So before my grandbaby gets here, we were planning on taking all my kids, on a trip for Christmas. But because of the baby coming, that has all changed. So now I'm planning on taking my children somewhere before Christmas, before the baby gets here. I want like one last getaway. I want one last getaway with the kids, with all the kids, before the baby comes and my daughter's life changes completely. But I am excited and I'm looking forward to the birth of my first grandchild. I'm hoping it's a girl. She already has names picked out for a boy and a girl. If it's a girl, her name will be Ava. And if it's a boy, his name will be Xavier. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the baby to get here. I said 16 years ago I was never having another child, and I stood by that shit. I was done. I was done with the babies. I went through hell giving birth to my last child. That was a miserable. Listen, my last child was baby number 5. That child should have just walked out. I was in labor for 19 hours and 11 minutes, and I pushed for 2.5 hours, and then I hemorrhaged. And I said, never again. But at the time that I was pregnant with my youngest child, I had a cervical cancer. And that would be why I hemorrhaged. I had surgery right after his birth, and then I had surgery 6 weeks after his birth. Is that triple? Triple, 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 triple. I think that you and Tay Biggs should try to work out your difference because y'all are putting a crimp in the team. The team that you named, Triple. We will never forget that Triple Darkness is the one who named the team the Murder Team. And we will never forget that Triple Darkness is the one that named Mike Murda. Don't let the team that you created fall apart, Triple. Did you, Triple? I didn't even see it or hear it. But it's okay. I have no hard feelings for you, Sean. I got no hard feelings, Sean. I'm gonna tell you, Triple. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm gonna be 100. When you used to jump on panels and start talking all that shit, I used to be so fucking annoyed. I'd be like, oh my god, somebody kicked that motherfucker off. I'm so irritated and annoyed. But now when I hear you jump on a panel, I just fucking laugh. Like it's funny to me now. It's funny to me. When I hear, come to Brownsville, Sean. Come to Brownsville, Sean. What's your oath, Sean? I just start cracking up laughing. I'm like, listen to Triple. Listen to Triple. Triple, we know. I mean, let's keep it real. We know. We know that you were the one that named it the murder team. We know that. And we also know that you're the one that named Mike Murda. He did put Brownsville on the map. Well, he put Brownsville on the YouTube, this sector map. And probably everywhere else on YouTube because Triple B everywhere. Triple B in every sector. Triple B. Listen, I forgot whose chat I saw Triple in last night. He was asking for a rich. Whose chat were you in, Triple? I saw you in somebody's chat and you were like, yo, let me get a rich. I just started laughing so hard. Whose chat was that you were in last night, Triple? You were asking for a rich. It was the females. I don't know, Cloud. I don't know if that's not, I don't know. It was Joy, you're right. When she did that little, like, quick little live on that shit that happened on LA's video. Um, I don't know, Cloud, because let me tell you, um, Triple be out there like, and he'll be like on his, he'll be on YouTube. He'll either be on a panel or he'll be like doing his little videos or whatever. And people seem to know him whenever they pass by him. They seem to pay him respect. Now I'm gonna keep it 100. That I've seen people in the streets, supposedly quote unquote in the streets, paying Triple respect. I have seen it. I have seen it. I have witnessed it. I've seen it in his videos, and whenever he'd be on a panel and he'd be out walking around saying he's in the streets, I have heard people paying him respect. So people do seem to know who he is. The lake is popping this morning, y'all. It's a beautiful morning. There's so many boats out there in the water. So many boats in the water right now. And like, there's so many people down here. They're fishing, they're boating. It's a gorgeous morning. There's a very nice breeze blowing. It's fantastic. This is my kind of morning. And sometimes when I wake up and everybody's still asleep, I'll go grab my mocha and I'll come out to the lake and just sit and watch the water. Sometimes I fish. Depends on how I'm feeling. I do things that most women do not do. I fish, I hunt. I want to go like caribou hunting in Alaska. That's what I really want to do. But it's so like difficult. Well, it's not difficult. It's just a lot of steps you have to take to be able to do that. Like you have to buy your tags, and then you have to have your gun. You have to have whatever rifle or shotgun you want to use to hunt. You have to have that licensed a certain way to be shipped, and you have to have your gun shipped to Alaska, and then you have to pick it up when you get there. And then if you actually end up hunting up there and you get a moose or you get a caribou, you have to process it and you have to have it shipped. You can't bring it back with you. It has to actually be shipped to you. And I think it's like $1,100 to have that done. So if I were to go up there and if I were to actually get a moose or if I were to get a caribou, I would have to have it shipped home. But one day I'm going to go hunting in Alaska. I'm going hunting in Alaska. I'm not the average chick. Like I like to do weird shit. I go hunting with my daddy. I have a compound bow. I have a crossbow. I got a 12 gauge. I got a 22. Phantom, I love to bow hunt. I have a crossbow and a compound. Yep. I'll go turkey hunting. And I go deer hunting with my daddy all the time, but I don't eat deer. I don't eat deer meat. It's venison is too, I don't know, it's too gamey tasting for me. It's just it's too wild. The meat is real wild tasting. So like for me, like when I kill, I'll shoot to kill, but I don't eat it. But I'll skin a buck in a hot second. I'll hang it from a tree in the front yard and I'll skin that shit. I know how to do all of that. All of that. My daddy has been taking me hunting since I was a little girl. You hog hunt with bay dogs? Man, you know what? I have never hunted wild boar or wild hog. I've never hunted boar or hog. Bow hunting is a lot more fun. Yes. Bow hunting is a lot more fun. Yep. I'll go to the gun range and I'll shoot. I'll go to the archery range and I'll practice archery at the range. I do all that shit. I'm not your typical average girly girl. I'm a tomboy. I was raised I was raised riding horses. I've been riding horses since before I could walk. I was 2 years old. The first time I got my own horse, I was 2 years old. I have a picture of myself on my horse at the age of 2. 12 English Bull Terriers. Yeah. I have an English Mastiff and an English Bulldog, but they're pretty lazy. You hunted boar in Tennessee? That's what's up. I need to do that though. I've never been boar hunting. I usually it's like turkey hunting, deer hunting, your basic. I've gone duck hunting. I've gone duck hunting. And I used to shoot clay pigeons. I used to do all that. But I'm telling you, y'all think that that kind of shit is weird for a female. But I'm gonna keep it 100. If something were to happen, okay, look at our economy right now. I mean, look at a pound of hamburger. A pound of hamburger is damn near what, $7? Because of all this COVID-19 shit that hit and has really affected our economy. It's affected our economy so fucking bad that like a pound of hamburger is like $7 here in Kansas City. Okay. But if anything were to happen whatsoever to our meat plants or whatever, I can literally survive by living off this land. I can hunt, I can fish, I can do all of that. That's pretty cool. My daddy had like bird dogs, like what were those things called? What are those hunting dogs? English pointers? Is that what those are? I think they're called English pointers. And we used to take them hunting with us when I was younger. Of course, those dogs are dead and gone now, but he had 3 of them, and we used to take them with us when we would go hunting. It is expensive. Like the price of meat is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. And like right now, I'm kind of tripping a little bit right now. Like I've had a headache for like the past, I don't know, couple of days because I'm stressed out. And I'm not stressed out because of finances. The finances are the least of my worries. I'm stressed out because for the past couple of days, they've had me working on the COVID unit. I worked the COVID unit last night and I worked the COVID unit a couple of nights ago. So I mean, I do everything I can. I wear my face shield. I wear my hair cap. I wear my booties. I wear my isolation gown. I wear my gloves. I wear my N95. I do all of that. But I was promised that I would never have to work the COVID unit because of my heart disease. Because having chronic heart failure puts me at a greater risk for not surviving COVID. Like COVID-19 could really fuck me up. And I was promised that I would not have to do the COVID unit. But for the past couple of nights that I've been at work, I've had to work the COVID unit because we've had 7 nurses come sick. So, when I walk into work and they're telling me, they're like, Kat, we hate to break the news to you, but you're going to have to work COVID. I was like, no fucking way. I called my boss. I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm like, you promised me. And she's like, Kat, I'm so sorry. This is the last thing I want to do to you. Trust and believe me. She's like, I struggle with this decision. She's like, but I don't have a choice. And I'm like, and I'm guessing I don't either. I mean, I could have quit and walked out, but then I would be turned in for abandonment. The standards that they hold us to, you all just don't understand. And people can talk shit all they want to about my job, what I do, where I work, what kind of a nurse I am. It doesn't fucking matter. I don't give a shit. And my guess is if I when I go, because I'm going to work later on today, and when I go into work, I'm probably going to be stuck on COVID again, and I'm seriously going to be pissed. I'm seriously going to be pissed. And on our COVID unit right now, we have I have got 5 on the wing on the part of the COVID unit that I've been working. I've got 5. I've got 5 positive COVIDs, and luckily, none of them have made it to the ventilator yet. So they're all doing pretty well. I sat last night and I had like a really long talk with one of the doctors that I work with. And I told him, I said, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm super, super, super paranoid and I'm very anxious about working this unit. And he told me, he's like, Kat, he's like, you'll be okay, I promise. Like, I almost broke down in tears. I'm not lying. Jafar, I wouldn't say that COVID is the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's very scary. It's very scary, especially with people that have underlying health conditions. It's very scary. I literally almost broke down in tears. You guys don't understand. And I'm not a crier. I don't cry, but I'm terrified. I'm terrified for my own health. I'm terrified of bringing it home to my children and my family. I'm terrified of going around, and taking it to my friends. I'm terrified. This shit is scary. This shit is scary. And they have been making us COVID test every 2 weeks. We have been COVID tested. We get COVID tested. If we come up negative, then 2 weeks later, we have to get COVID tested again. They are COVID testing us like crazy to make sure that we stay negative. I just had a COVID test last Wednesday. Of course, they die every day. But you know what, though, Jafar? A lot of, like, here's the thing, people die every single day. I look at death every single day. But not everybody dies from COVID-19. There have been people that have survived COVID-19. But you have to understand this too. What if you catch COVID-19 and you survive, your body builds up an antibody. You build up an antibody to COVID-19. However, that does not mean you cannot catch it again because we have seen people that have tested positive for COVID-19 who have survived, who now have the antibody in their system, but have tested positive again a month or two later. So even though your body builds an antibody to COVID-19, it's just like, think of it like the chicken pox, okay? If you had the chicken pox as a child, that virus that you had as a chicken pox, it stays in your body. It lays dormant in your body. And later on in life, that virus changes. And that's why people get what's called shingles. Shingles is from the chicken pox. Shingles, you had shingles from having chicken pox as a child. That's where it comes from. Okay. So just like with COVID-19, when you catch it and you recover from it and your body builds up the antibody, later on that virus has a chance of changing. It's laying dormant in your body, it's laying dormant in your system, and later on that virus changes. So that when you become positive for COVID-19 again, it's a whole different type of virus that your body is fighting. Hey, stanky twat tuna. So for me, a part of me is like, you know what? It might be better just to catch it and try to survive it and build up the antibody. But then a part of me is like, Kat, you have chronic heart failure. What if you don't survive it? So it's kind of a catch 22 when you're dealing with COVID 19. But I think that people need to understand that it's here. It's clearly not going anywhere. They've opened up all the cities. There's people out around each other everywhere, and the numbers of COVID cases are steady rising. It's here. It's not going anywhere. So I think that people need to just start looking at COVID 19 as a daily part of normal living. Because now they're saying in a month or two, COVID is going to skyrocket all over again. And they're saying that when the flu season hits, COVID is really going to come back with a force. So we'll see what happens. The doctor that works our COVID unit, he has been studying COVID since COVID first came out. He even does YouTube videos on COVID, how to stay safe from COVID, what to expect from the virus. He's a phenomenal doctor. I would trust him with my life. I would trust him with my life. Absolutely. I've worked with him for many years, and he's fantastic. So, hey, Kiri, I'm just going to wear my PPEs, wash my hands constantly, use alcohol based hand sanitizer, drink lots of water to stay hydrated, and pray. Those are my only options, and pray. I'm just not excited about being forced to work the COVID unit. I'm not. It's scary. It's very scary. I used to feel safe at work. I don't feel safe anymore. And it sucks. I love my job. I love what I do. I love taking care of people. I don't feel safe for my own self anymore. When I come home from work, I have there's a robe that I have that I hang in the garage because when I come home from work, I take my shoes off. I completely strip down. I put my scrubs in a plastic bag. I put my robe on. I walk into my house. I throw my scrubs in the washing machine. I go upstairs and I take a shower. Um, I have not personally. I have heard of some doctors. I've heard of some doctors that have tested positive for COVID, but the doctors that I personally work with, none of them, knock on wood, have been positive for COVID. But the reason why I'm now on the COVID unit is because 7 of our nurses have tested positive for COVID. 7 of the nurses that work the COVID unit have tested positive for COVID. Thank you, Carmel Mocha. I'm definitely trying. But also, you have to understand this too. When they do COVID testing, we used to do the nasopharyngeal test, which the nasopharyngeal test was a swab that went up your nose and down to the back of your throat. Okay. Now they just do the nasal swabs. And even though, like, it feels like they're literally poking your brain, it feels like they are literally poking your brain. It doesn't hurt. It's just very uncomfortable to be tested. Even though, it's not, it's a very uncomfortable test to have done. And I have to have it done every 2 weeks. 30%, 30% of the rapid COVID tests are coming back false positive. But the problem is even if you get a false positive result, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. And then when you get a negative test result, you still have to quarantine for 2 weeks because you have to have 2 negative tests to be truly negative from COVID 19. So if I have a false positive come up on me, I have to quarantine, or even if I have a positive come up on me, I have to quarantine myself for 2 weeks. Okay. I have to be tested again. If that test is negative, I have to wait another 2 weeks and be tested again. And if that test is negative, then I can return back to work. So that's like an entire month off of work. Actually, it's like a month and a half. To be truly negative from COVID 19, you have to have 2 negative tests. And so far, every time I've been tested, I've been negative. So I've been blessed in that aspect. I was tested again on Wednesday last week. You know, um, now that I'm working the COVID unit, I'll be tested again on Monday, which makes no sense to me because with COVID, it could take anywhere from 2 to 14 days to even develop symptoms once you've come in contact with the virus. So that's just kind of where my life is at right now. I am not excited to go into work tonight because I think that I'll probably most likely be back on the COVID unit, and I'm not excited for that whatsoever. And of course, you can like beg other nurses. Like, I was like, please, somebody swap units with me. Somebody take my floor, and I promise you, I'll take your floor for the next week. But nobody wants on the COVID unit. Nobody does. You smell him? I'm sure he is lurking. He's waiting to hear his name, and I have no desire to speak it today. I have no desire to speak it today. But yeah, like I said, I heard a little bit about what LA was saying, and I'm like, this dude seriously has some issues. Absolutely, who I will be as safe as I possibly can. And oh my God, you guys don't even understand how hot it is. I was like dripping sweat. I was so hot. Like the gear that we have to wear, oof, it is burning hot. Burning hot. Well, I mean, true, Jafar. That is true. That Jafar says that what's suspect is if it kills people with underlying issues already, then given their issues, obviously, if they're not managing their issues, would have caused their death either way. True enough. People, I mean, like you can have a terminal illness, or you can have a disease that eventually is going to advance in the disease process. It's going to cause your death. The problem is that catching COVID enhances your underlying disease. So basically, it like kind of like kills you faster, just like with chemotherapy. Just like with chemotherapy. Like chemotherapy is literally, chemo and radiation literally is putting poison into your body. Okay. For some cancers out there, chemotherapy and radiation is a great thing. For other cancers out there, chemo and radiation could be your death sentence. Like if my oncologist were to come to me and tell me, Kat, you have stage 4 lung cancer, you know what I'm going to say? Thanks for the information. And I am going to go out there and I am going to live every single day the best I can. Because if I were to say that I wanted treatment, I'm going to die faster. Nobody, you can look it up, nobody has ever survived stage 4 lung cancer. Nobody. I have seen patients that have chosen chemo and radiation for stage 4 lung cancer and they've died within a few months. I have seen patients that have chosen no treatment whatsoever and they've lived for 2 years. More lies. Yeah, because you know all about it, don't you, Mike Mills? Fucking freak. Literally. Literally. Their grandmother. My son's grandmother was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer in August. She chose chemo and radiation. She was dead by October. I'm sorry, November. She died in November. She died on Thanksgiving Day, November of 2010. She had stage 4 lung cancer. She was diagnosed in August. She died on Thanksgiving Day, 2010. I know another female, I'm not going to say her name, but she was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer and she lived for 2 years because she chose no treatment. So, I mean, it's all about, I don't know, it's taking a risk either way. Either way, you take a risk. They're not trying to make me sick, Jafar. They're not trying to make me sick. Listen, and I understand where they're coming from. Like they've done the best they can. They've done the best they could to keep me safe and keep me away from COVID-19. And for that I commend them. Okay? They have done everything in their power to not expose me to COVID-19. However, at the end of the day, I am a nurse. And I knew that becoming a nurse, I was going to expose myself from everything from A to Z. I took an oath to care for people no matter what their disease process. And sometimes, even in this job, you have to put your patients before you put yourself. I get it. Jim, a guy died and came back healthy. I know, right? Right? After a whack job to her own head. But didn't you expose yourself when you went to Benton Harbor? Listen, I expose myself every day when I go out in public. I could be standing in the grocery store next to somebody with COVID-19 and not have a clue. I could be going down the grocery aisle and pick up a box of cereal that someone with COVID-19 picked up before me and decided not to buy it. We expose ourselves in everyday life. But the difference in that and the difference in working with it is I know the people that I'm caring for are positive for it. So it's a little bit more scarier. I would rather not know than know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather not know that the man I see getting off of his boat right now is COVID-19 positive versus going to work and looking a man in the face that I know is COVID-19 positive. There's a huge difference in that. But we expose ourselves in our everyday life. You expose yourself going to a gas station. You don't know who's positive, you don't know who's negative. I do wear a mask when I go into the stores. I don't wear gloves because I think that's pointless. Unless you change your gloves every time you touch something, it is pointless. And also, it's spread through droplets. So again, like I've said many times, if you're out in public and there is someone that you notice that is coughing their head off, you are not going to be anywhere near that person. You are going to move away. You're going to remove yourself from being close to that person. When I'm at work and I'm taking care of a COVID patient, I cannot remove myself from that situation. I have to be there. There's a huge difference. So, anyways, I'm sitting out here at the lake. There's a beautiful, beautiful breeze blowing. It's such a phenomenal morning. But I wanted to just kind of like talk about what Lamar had said yesterday. And then I jumped track and got off onto a whole other topic of traveling and COVID-19 and whatever. But I'm going to head home and prepare myself for work today. And we'll see what happens. And I have some stuff to do too because I'm working today, Monday and Tuesday for a little while on Wednesday, and then I'm leaving. I'm leaving on Wednesday for Colorado. So I really truly have a lot of stuff to do. I gotta start packing for my trip and getting myself prepared for the next few days of work life. And do you think the lockdown was necessary because it didn't stop you traveling? Well, that's the thing. When I was traveling during the lockdown, yes, I stayed in some hotels, but we also camped a lot too. We camped in Yellowstone. So I pretty much stayed secluded from people. I wasn't really around a lot of people when I was traveling in those days. When I took that big trip over before or during Memorial Weekend or whatever, I went to 11 states in 11 days. For 4 of those days, we camped in Yellowstone, which was amazing. And I'm telling you guys, like, if you ever have the chance to take your family camping in Yellowstone, do it. Do it. That was like an amazing experience. And Yellowstone itself is an amazing place to take your children and your family. I'm not only talking to Jafar, no, I'm just answering his question. But if you ever have the opportunity to take your family camping in Yellowstone, I highly recommend it. It is a great experience. There's so much to do. There's hiking, there's wildlife to see, there's natural things to see. It's a phenomenal thing to do. So, when I did travel, yes, we stayed in hotels and then we camped. We camped in Yellowstone for 4 days. So I pretty much stayed secluded away from big crowds of people. And because of COVID-19, my trip to Hawaii was canceled. So when we came up with our idea for 11 states in 11 days, I was like, fuck COVID-19. I'm not going to let COVID-19 stop me. I do love all of you equally, even the haters. I love the haters too. Did you ask a question, Rhonda? I didn't even see. Let me scroll up. And even in October, I'm flying to Florida in October, and the airline, the way that the airlines are set up is you can still fly, but you have to sit like your airline seating, you're really spaced out. You asked what happened. Okay, what happened with what, sweetheart? With LA? What happened with LA? Or what happened in Michigan? Or what happened that pissed me off today? Or what what are we talking about? Feelings, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. My title. Oh, my title is because that's something that LA said he typed in my chat yesterday. Which honestly, when I saw Lamar type the wow kitty in my chat, I honestly did not think he said he was texting me. Well, when I'm live on my phone, yes, I can hear my text messages going off, but streaming on my phone with StreamYards is new to me. They just allowed you to start streaming with StreamYards on your phone. So I didn't know, like, if I were to like go check my text messages, if that was going to mess up my stream, or like if my stream would pause so that it would give me time to do that. So when I got off my stream yesterday, I had 15 text messages, not just from LA. Please do not misquote me. I had 15 text messages, but they were not all from LA. So I did not realize that you can check your texts while you're streaming. This is new to me. Streaming with my phone is new to me. So I guess he had texted me and said he was going to type wow kitty in my chat. Well, when I saw the wow kitty, I had not read his text message. And I'm thinking to myself, like, wow kitty. LA would never call me kitty. So I didn't think that that was him, but apparently it was. Triple, that's the thing. Like, I learned yesterday how to copy my link on my phone, but I have no way. I don't know how to go into the chat on my phone. And I'm not going to be on here much longer. I have to go home and get ready for work. That's a great question, Rhonda, and I would love to know the answer to that. I would love to know the answer to that. Because I said, yeah, listen, when I said that I was going to be copacetic with Lamar, that does not mean I want to be your friend. Thanks, 5 star. I appreciate that. That does not mean I want to be your friend. That means, like, I don't want to come live and talk about you every day. I don't want to go back and forth with you every day. I said this before and I'm going to say it again. In the roast game, the only person in this game that has ever truly exhausted me has been LA. That dude has like truly exhausted me going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm over it. I'm over going back and forth with this dude. We will never see eye to eye. We will never agree. So it's better for him to just, it's better for the both of us just to agree to disagree. In his mind, he thinks one thing happened. In my mind, I know what happened. And that will never change because he's the type of dude that is always right. He's the type of dude that loves to come online and say, I don't lie. You lied when you made that comment. You lied when you made that statement. The minute you said you don't lie, you're lying. Here's an example. Here's an example of LA lying. Are you ready? So, when I was in Michigan and LA and I were talking, I said to him, I'm like, where in the hell did you come up with I have coat hangers for door handles? And he's like, oh, I made that up. Well, so his logic is making something up is making it up. That's not a lie. But the reality is making something up is lying. Because I'm like, dude, like I cannot believe that you fucking said I have coat hangers for door handles. I'm like, do you realize how fucking dumb that sounds? And he's like, yeah, I just made that up. Well, making it up is lying. So do not use the statement, I don't lie. I don't lie roast. Because that's one lie you at least admitted to. So if that's the case, what else have you made up about me, dude? Let's keep it real. We won't even say lying. I won't even say you lie roast me. You make up roast me. So what else have you made up to fit your narrative that I'm such a low down white trash piece of shit bitch? What else have you made up, LA? Because I know that I'm living life better than you, homie. And that ain't made up. I know I'm living life better than you. He admitted what in the end? Listen, I can set up a camera in my house and you will never see a roach come across that camera. He's made up a lot of shit about me. He's made up a lot of shit about me, and that's fine. Rhonda, I'm going to tell you right now, I will never say that because that never happened. Again, let's think about it logically, okay? That Friday night, that first night in that hotel room, LA was recording everything, and he was recording everything for YouTube purposes. He was recording everything for YouTube purposes. Now, if I was trying to hit on him or seduce him behind my friend's back, like he claims, do you think I would have done some shit like that on camera? Do you think I would have done some shit like that on his live stream where she was watching? Let's think logically. Let's break down the logic of his story. I knew he was recording. His phone never left his hand. I knew he was recording. So why would I do something like that knowing he's recording me? And again, in all of my years of friendship with my best friend, we have never been with the same guy. We have never hit on the same guy. We have never gone behind each other's backs with a guy. So I want to ask you, LA. I want to ask you, what in God's name do you think so highly of yourself that you would be the one to break that G code. Please tell us all, what makes you think so highly of yourself that you, of all men that walk this planet, would be the one that would make me do some snaky shit like that behind my best friend's back, behind that I have never, ever, in all of our years of friendship, have ever done? That's what the fuck I want to know. So let's break down the logic, because there is nothing that physically or sexually attracts me to Lamar. Nothing. Now, do I find him funny? Yes. Do I find him at times intelligent? Yes. But do I find him sexually or physically attractive? No, I don't. And I told him that to his face. When was she ever doing that, Mike? When was she ever doing that? She never said that. And the only thing she probably ever said was, I would never be with a man that craps his pants. She may have said something like that. But what female, including myself, including me, I'm gonna throw me in the mix. What female would honestly admit that they were with a dude that shit on himself? Because I would never admit to that. I would never admit to that. And you know what, 5 star? I did. I did have a good time. I had a good time that weekend. I thought this shit was on some real. I thought that we were all on some real shit. I thought that we were on some real shit. Like, listen, on the way home from Michigan, on the way home, when we left, we talked about it, and I even said, like, we knew, we had a feeling that some shit was going to pop off in a foul direction. We did have that feeling. Okay. And I guess maybe I thought that maybe it's just a feeling that I had because I knew who I was dealing with. But then I thought that maybe because I was on some genuine shit, he would have been on some genuine shit too. And I know that I made him mad. I know that I made him mad. I did make him mad. I made him mad when I told him the truth about Kevin Leroy. Yes, I made him mad because he is weirdly obsessed with that dude and he believes every fucking lie that comes out of his mouth. But he says he hates liars. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. How do you hate liars when your so called best friend you have never met is a liar? And she may have been doing all that. But ask yourself, is it genuine or is it for show? Who knows? I don't talk to her. Listen, we don't really talk about Michigan. We don't like I said, in real life, you are going to have friends and dudes that don't get along. Okay. Listen, I've been with a dude. Okay. For example, okay, I'll keep it real. For example, when I was with Justin, when I was with Justin, Justin didn't get along with my friend, with my best friend. They did not get along with each other. So what did I do? I kept the relationships separate. And that's what adults do because not everybody is going to get along. Okay. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to find you attractive. Not everybody's going to think that you're the greatest person in the world. People, we're just not all going to get along. It is what it is. However, when you are an adult, you keep your relationships separate. So even in this situation, even though LA and I don't get along, those are separate relationships. I have nothing to do with what goes on between them, and he has nothing to do with our friendship. So it's two separate things. And I'm not going to diss him behind his back to try to sway her into a different direction. That's not the kind of person that I am. We just don't talk about it. We have real life shit that we can talk about. And most of the time, it's my fucked up decisions. Do you think that my best friend likes Harry? No, she does not. She does not like him at all. My best friend does not like Harry whatsoever. Okay. But does she try to tell me what to do in my relationship with him? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because Harry is my decision and she supports me. Now, does she voice her opinion to me every once in a while about him? Absolutely. And I take it to heart because I love her and I love her opinion and I value and I respect her opinion. But she never tells me what to do with my life. She tells me, I love you. You are my favorite human. And whatever choice you make, despite how I feel about it, you know I'm here if you ever need it. And I tell her the same thing because that's what real friends do. We don't try to dictate each other's lives. We let each other make their own choices and we support them no matter what. There are times that I don't like Harry and I would rather run him over than look at him. But I love him. I do. I love him. And like I said, we have a lot of issues in different departments, but I love that ugly man. I don't care if he looks like Harry Belafonte. I love that dude because sometimes the good outweighs the bad. And he's not some old ass geriatric. I'm so sick of hearing that. Harry is 52. He's 52 years old. I will be 40 next Friday. So he's like 12 years older than I am. I'm serious. 5 star. I'm serious. I love that ugly man. No, Ronnie, you're right. Sometimes love isn't enough. You're absolutely right. Sometimes love is not enough. However, if the good outweighs the bad, and sometimes I don't even know. I don't even know if the good outweighs the bad in this situation. I don't. I have to figure it out. It's something that I have to figure out for me. So hopefully on this trip that we're getting ready to take next week, we can figure some things out. And if we can figure it out, great for us. If we can't figure it out, then, I always have Quentin. That's wrong. I shouldn't say that. I should never have said that. I never should have said that. But it's the truth. You know what? I am. I'm happy. I'm happy. There's just I don't want to, like I said, like when LA said that I made the comment that he's like a 30-second man. It's longer than 30 seconds, damn it, Lamar. Give him a little bit of credit. He's at least a three-pump chump. There's issues. There are issues. I'm not going to lie. There are issues. Like in any marriage, in any relationship, there are issues. And sometimes they can be worked out and sometimes they cannot. And I'm okay if they cannot be worked out. I'm fine with that. No, Harry is not his real name. Harry is not his real name. Harry is what everybody in the sector calls him, so I'm just sticking with it. No, Rhonda, I'm not talking negative. I'm just being funny. But I married him because we got married in South Dakota, and it was like a spur of the moment decision. Okay. We were on vacation. It was a spur of the moment decision. And then like during the rest of our vacation, like everything was like bliss, like you're on cloud nine. You think that everything in your life has finally fallen into place. You feel wonderful about everything. You're just so happy. You're at peace with everything. You feel on top of the world in that moment. And then when you get back home, reality hits and it's like, oh my God. And I'll never forget because I called Tiffany and I told her what I did. And I was like, I can't fucking believe I just did this. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you fucking did it either. And I started thinking about it and I was like, I went about this the whole wrong way. Like everything about this is wrong. I ran off. I eloped. I didn't even tell my kids. I didn't even include my children. And now I have to go home and look at my kids in the face and tell them what I've done. And I know that they're going to be angry and disappointed. Not because I don't like Harry, because my kids love Harry. They absolutely adore him. They truly do. Like my sons and Harry, they go fishing all the time. My daughters think he's like the best thing. So, like, my family loves him. My kids love him. So that had nothing to do with it. It's the way that I did it. I felt so guilty. Like, this is fucked up, Kat. You just did something so fucked up because your children probably, most likely, definitely would have wanted to be involved in this process. And you totally just X'd out your kids and your family. And that was not a cool fucking thing for you to do. So it was an argument between him and I because he kept asking me, like, have you told the kids yet? Have you told the kids yet? And I'm like, no. And he's like, why have you not told the kids? He's like, do I need to? And I'm like, no, you do not need to tell them. Like, I could not face my children and tell them what I had done because I did not want to see the disappointment in their eyes and knowing that mom fucked up big time. So, like, yeah, it was a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. And honestly, we were having some problems prior to us even doing this. We were having some issues between the two of us in our relationship, and I think that honestly he felt like I was swaying away, like I was starting to distance myself, like I was starting to back out of our relationship together, and he felt like he was losing me. And so the only way that he could think of at the time to not lose me was fuck it, let's get married. Because at that time in our relationship, I was starting to pull back. So, sometimes you make a rash decision and you don't really think about it at the time that you do it. And it was definitely something I didn't think about. I just did it. And I was sober, so I can't even use alcohol as an excuse. Just like some people think that a baby will fix a relationship, it does not. Well, a marriage doesn't either. No, I've been married before. I've been married and divorced before. But a baby does not fix a relationship and neither does a spur of the moment marriage because we still continue to have problems. Oh, there's some smells going on there, feelings. There's some smells going on there. So when I was in Michigan, Quentin was texting me, and LA was in the car when the text messages were going off. And Quentin, like, oh, how do I put it with him? It's difficult with him because I like him. He's a great guy. He's a great guy, you know. And but he's like he wants to move everything so fast. And he is like he's trying to buy me away basically. He's trying to offer me things to leave Harry and be with him, and uh that's not a turn on to me. It really isn't. So like when he sent me the text with the picture of the Benz, you know, that is his way of trying to like say, hey, leave your situation and be with me, and this is what I'm offering you. Quentin, he has a lovely house. He does. Quentin has a very nice house, bought and paid for, but it's outdated. And I'm up to times. I love the hardwood floors. I love the clean lines. I love the light colored paints. I love the stainless steel appliances. HGTV is my go-to. So I was joking with Quentin when he was like, move in with me, blah, 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 blah. And I said, dude, if I were to move into this house, you would have to seriously update because this house is outdated. It's a lovely home, but it's outdated. So he went and bought, while I was in Michigan, this is no joke, because the pictures were coming in, all the text messages were coming in. LA was seeing this shit. So that's another thing he's lying about. That's another thing he's lying about on me. So he went to Nebraska Furniture Mart and he bought all the appliances that I told him he would have to have in the kitchen. And he said, he said, see, I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to do whatever you want me to do. And I'm like, oh my God, stop it. You're moving way too fast for me. Like, I have not made a decision. You know what, Ron? I don't. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Like, Harry knows that we have problems. Harry knows that I'm slipping away. But as far as like my feelings for Quentin, like, I like him a lot. And I like being around him and I like spending time with him. But he is moving way too fast. Way too fast. And I'm like, slow the train, dude. Like, this is too much for me. It's too overwhelming. That's not funny. You're going to be an old woman with bad karma. No, I'm not. Listen, I'm trying to make the right decision for me. You think that I'm not honest with these dudes? Like, I'm very honest. I tell them, like, everything I'm saying is not something that I have not said to them. Everything I'm saying is not something that has already been said to them. And at the end of the day, I'm perfectly happy being alone. That's not true. I do not have a phone book directly of Dick. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, y'all are ridiculous, man. Y'all can't act like you have never been in a situation like this. I'm sure that at some point in your all's adult lives, you've been in some form of a situation like I'm in. I do not take advantage of nobody. You're wrong on that. Exactly. My kids are grown. I don't have to worry about my kids anymore. Now I'm looking out for myself. And I'm perfectly happy if I was just by myself. Like, if y'all even knew half the shit I've been through with Harry, then you would understand better. But I'm not going to put all of my personal business out there. I've been through a lot of shit with that man. That man has put me through a lot of shit. You don't even understand what that man has put me through. And I have still stood by him. And I just feel like I can't do it anymore. No matter what he has put me through, I have been by his side through everything. And at his age, and I tell him that all the time. You are 52 fucking years old. You should not be doing the shit that you're doing. But I love him. I do honestly love him. And I'm trying. So I'm not taking advantage of anyone. I'm trying. And it's trial and error. And I have been nothing but honest with him. He knows about Quentin. Quentin knows about him. They both know that I'm in a situation where I don't know which direction to go, and I'm trying to figure it out. Both are successful. Both have great things of value to each of them. I just don't know what direction I want to go in. You know what, Rhonda? I'm starting to believe that because listen, I have always been into older men. I have never been into a man that is younger than me. I really, truly haven't. Like, dating a man that's younger than me, I just can't get with that. I don't know why. It's a barrier, I guess, that I have. I'm not really into younger men. I've always been into older men. Always. And I'm not saying like 70 or 80 years old. I'm not saying like 70 or 80-year-old men, like Harry is 52, Quentin is 53, I'll be 40. That's not that much of an age gap. I mean, if you think about it, it's not really that much of an age gap because the truth of it is like my age is getting up there too. Like I'm getting older every day. So, like, if I was like in my 20s and I was with a 50-year-old man, that would be completely different. But I'm going to be 40. I'm going to be 40 years old. And not that like I don't embrace my age because I'm not ashamed of the fact that I'm going to be 40. I'm blessed. I'm blessed that I've lived to see the age of 40. I just at 40 years old, I really need to figure it out on which direction I want my life to take. And with this trip that we're taking next week, hopefully we will figure some things out. And it's not just a trip just for my birthday, it's for us to get away and figure some things out. Because even when we took our trip back in May, we had some issues on our trip back in May. There were some issues. We didn't get along the entire trip. We did not get along the entire trip. We had some issues pop up in that 11-day time span that we took our last trip, and so this trip is a chance for us to get away from my birthday and figure out what direction I really want to go in. And that's the thing though, Rhonda, like he has baggage, I have baggage. But can we figure out a way to make it work? Or is his baggage too much and is mine too much? It's trial and error, like in every relationship, in every marriage, in everything you do, every aspect in life, everything is trial and error. We made a very rash decision. We made a very hurried decision. It was not planned. It happened, and now I just got to figure it out. Harry and I, listen, I've known Harry. I met Harry 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It was a night. Okay, well, the night that I met Harry, Tiffany and I and a bunch of our friends had gone out that night, and I met two guys that night. I met two guys that night, and Harry was one of them. And at the time that I met Harry, I met the other dude, And my friends were all like, "Oh, the other dude, he's so much cuter. Da 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 da. You really need to go, go talk to him. Blah 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 blah. He wants to talk to you." And I was like, "Okay." So that night that I met the two of them, I chose the other dude over Harry. Okay, and I dated that guy for a while. In fact, when I first came onto YouTube, I was still seeing that guy. His name was Darnell. So even though, like, I chose Darnell over Harry, the over the 5 year course that I had met Harry, 5 or 6 years, however long it was, he was texting me all the time. He was messaging me all the time. He was like, "Can I take you to dinner? Can we hang out?" Blah, 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 for like 5 years straight. And so finally, one night, he hit me up on Facebook and he was like, "Hey," he's like, "I've been trying to take you out for like 5 years now." He's like, "Are you going to say yes or are you going to turn me down again?" And at the time, I was single and I had been single for a while. And I said, "You know what? Why not? Why not?" So I went out with him and we were inseparable ever since. FYO is, does he know about the 3 husbands you exchanged numbers with at the liquor store in Benton Harbor? What 3 husbands did I exchange numbers with? What are you talking about? What 3 husbands did I exchange numbers with at the liquor store? I'm confused. There wasn't 3. There wasn't 3. And to my knowledge, neither one of the guys at the liquor store were married. And listen, 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 listen. When you're a female, there wasn't 3. There was not 3. So he exaggerated on that story. But when you're a female, okay, and you go out to drink, if you're a real female, you don't have to pay for nothing. You don't have to pay for nothing. Let me tell you something. I drank that Friday night and I was lit. I was lit and I was turned all the way up. I think that even LA could not deny the fact that night I was a lot of fun and I was hype and I had the whole crowd like between me and Chaos. I'm gonna keep it real because Chaos was lit too, and we had a good fucking time that night. So like when you had the bar, you got this half over here and a half over here, right? Chaos had one side of the bar just popping. I had the other side of the bar popping. So between me and Chaos, we set that whole night off. We set that whole night off. And I think that even LA cannot deny that fact because even LA said that I was hype and I had the whole side of the bar like hype with me. I'm a lot, listen, y'all don't understand. When I'm out and I'm drinking, I am a lot of fun. I am a very fun person. But drunk cat can go one of 2 ways. I can either be hype in the life of the party or I could be busting bottles ready to cut a bitch. That night, I was in a great mood. I was hype. I was having a lot of fun. Now, when you're a female and you are out in a bar and you are drinking, you should never have to buy your own drink, ladies. Never. Never. So if you have men that are approaching you, whether it be at a gas station, whether it be at a liquor store, whether it be at a grocery store, if you have men that are approaching you, asking you, like, "Yo, what are you doing tonight?" And you say, "I'm going to be at this bar drinking," and they say, "Cool, I might swing through," that is a potential sponsor. That is a potential sponsor. And yes, ladies, you need to swoop them up. Snow Queen, the bully said you only had. Man, are you fucking Jafar? Listen, listen. That is a whole ass lie. That is another made up story. That is a whole ass lie. I had over 1,200 in cash in my wallet. I had over 1,200 just in cash, and I had 2 debit cards. So that's another made up story. If you're single and unattached, you're free to entertain other men. I get that, but that's what I'm saying though. Like I'm in a situation right now that it's hard to explain my situation without going into true detail about my personal life, and I'm not trying to do that. So I get 100% where you're coming from, but the situation that I'm currently in did not hinder me from being hyped that night. All you need is a bottle. You know what? Let me tell you something, Sebastian Taylor. That is so fucking incorrect. Because when I was in Michigan, I could have fucked who knows how many people. But did I? No. I slept by myself in the bed that I paid for. That was my decision. I slept in a bed by myself that I paid for by myself. That was my decision. Now, I had a dude at the bar that, oh, he was such a cutie. Oh my God. Woo! He was a cutie. Y'all just don't know. I think I even have him in a video, in one of my videos on my channel. He on like a red, was he wearing red shorts or a red shirt or something? He was a cutie pie with a pocket full of money. LA cannot deny that either. Well, he might not say he's a cutie pie because, you know, LA's a dude, but the dude was a total cutie pie with a pockets full of money. Now, could I have taken him up to my room? Yes, the fuck I could have. But would I have? No, because of the situation that I am in. I was not there in Michigan to have sex or sleep with anybody. I was not there in Michigan to hook up with anybody. But finding a sponsor to drink, fuck, I'll do that even with my dude next to me, okay? Because when you're a woman and you go out and you drink, you should not have to pay for your own drinks. Period. And you know what? You may not agree, and that's cool. You know, we live two different types of lives. But like I said, because of the situation I am in, that's why I made a conscious decision. Well, I already knew. I already knew going to Michigan. I already knew months before going to Michigan that I was not going to Michigan to fuck or mess with nobody. I knew when we planned out the trip to Michigan that I was not going to be messing or sleeping with anybody. Like I said, I'm in a situation and I need to figure out my situation. And my situation is not a situation that I would want to drag anybody else into. I'm in a pickle, you know? I'm in a real pickle and I would never want to drag anybody else into this situation with me. You probably would, Jafar, but if you are comfortable in your manhood, then you shouldn't have to worry about it. Like, look, me and Harry, okay? Harry and I went out with some friends one night, and there was some guys that were up at the bar, and they were buying me shots. Did Harry care? No, because he knew that I was going to leave the bar and go home with him. It's all in being comfortable in your manhood. It happens. Shit happens. But if you're secure with yourself, and if you're secure in your manhood, and if you're secure in your woman, you don't have to worry about that kind of shit. One night, Harry and I went out with two of our friends. They're a couple, and we were shooting pool and we were drinking that night. And this guy walked up and he gave me a rose. Did Harry freak out? No. Why? Why would he? I mean, he had already bought me three, you know, but he didn't freak out because, like, he knows who I'm leaving with at the end of the night. It's all about being secure in your manhood and being secure in your woman. Look, I'm going to tell you what, okay? There have been a lot of unflattering screenshots and pictures and videos and whatever put out of me, but I don't give a fuck because I know what I look like. I have no problems with the way that I look. I am comfortable in my own skin and I don't give a fuck. It's not so much that, I mean, he displayed a little bit of jealousy on Friday night. He displayed a little bit of jealousy this past Friday night, but Harry is not all that innocent himself. Let's just put it that way, okay? Harry is not an innocent victim in this situation whatsoever. And that's all I'm going to say. It's not like it's not like Harry is some poor innocent victim of cats. Please do not get that confused. Harry is not innocent. He is not innocent. Again, and there's been no physical abuse whatsoever. So please let's not get that twisted. Harry is respectful. He has never put his hands on me. He's never called me out of my name. But he has put me through a lot of fucking shit. He has put me through more than I have never allowed another dude to put me through what the fuck this dude has put me through. And even Tiffany can tell you, all my friends can tell you, Kat, what the fuck is wrong? This is what they say to me. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you this is not the Kat that we know. The Kat that we know is like very strong and is like, fuck it. Who gives a fuck? And she moves the fuck on. I have never let a man put me through what the fuck this dude has put me through. Usually I'm like, oh, for real? See ya. I don't give a fuck. I usually don't have any feelings. I'm usually very numb. I'm usually not like, I'm not like, I don't know. It's so hard to explain. That's like in the message that I had text Lamar, okay? When I said that I was broken, Lamar knows exactly what the fuck I was talking about because that was a conversation that Lamar and I had on the phone. I am the type of chick, I don't usually get my feelings involved. I'm usually very numb and I'm very cold to a situation. Okay. When someone says the words, I love you, I fucking bounce. I bounce. Peace. You just said the 3 words that fuck me all the way up, and I don't want to hear that shit. But with Harry, and I don't know what it is other than it has to be the fact that I truly love him. I have let this man put me through hell. He is not a victim. The choices that I have made were led by his actions. So let's not get it twisted. And the choices that I have made, I probably never would have done if I had not been through what the fuck I have been through with him. I am. I am. Yes, my sign. That is my sign. And that's the thing, Rhonda. Like, even my friends who know me in real life are telling me, like, dude, Kat, this is not healthy. This is not healthy for you. It's not good for you. You're stressed out about this situation. It's not good for your heart condition. It's not good for your mental psyche. Like, this shit is why can't you just let it go? I don't know. I don't know why I can't let it go. And that's what I need to figure out when we leave. When we take this I told him straight up, I said, listen, this trip to Colorado for my birthday and for us to figure shit out, it may be our last trip together. It may be our last trip together. Because the trip that I have planned in October, Harry's not coming with me to Florida. That's something I'm doing with 3 of my friends. So, like I said, everybody, like, they want to talk about Harry. Talk about Harry all you want to. It really doesn't affect me. Am I doing him wrong? Listen, I'm trying to do myself right. Okay. So no accidents. No, I'm not saying this might be our last trip together because I'm planning some terrible accident for Harry. No. I'm just saying that this is a trip that's going to make us or break us. You know, when we get back from this trip from Colorado, this trip will be my ultimate decision of, do we go to counseling? How do we fix this? Or is this it? Was this it for us? You know, I'm all for counseling. I'm all for trying to work things out. I'm all for, making the best of our situation. I'm all for parting peacefully. I'm for all of it. So this trip that we're taking when we leave on Wednesday will be my ultimate deciding factor of which direction I'm taking my life in when I get back home on Sunday. And that's just where I'm at with it. And I'm not even saying, like, if things go south with Harry that I'm going to stick with Quentin. I'm not saying that at all either. Like I said, with Quentin, he's a great guy, and he's trying and he's doing everything he can to sway my decision towards him. But I'm not even sure that that's the situation I want to be in, because he is moving things way too fast for me. Like, my head is spinning dealing with him. Okay, this guy's got to go. I'm irritated with you. So, such is life. Shit happens. And you're right. Sometimes, no matter how much you want something to work, it's not meant to be. And that may be the case with me and Harry. I can look at it like we've had a great run. We've had a great time. We've done a lot of fun things together. We've had a lot of laughs together. We've shared a lot of firsts together. We've shared a lot of memories together. But that may be all that they're going to be. It's just memories that we share. And I'm okay if that's the case. Because sometimes, I think about the shit that he's put me through and I ask myself, is it really worth it to keep going through this? And it's mentally just not. But I am not the type of person to stick around and keep holding on to a situation that just is going nowhere. I'm not that kind of person. And he's actually turning me into someone that I'm not. And I don't like that. It's not that anything is necessarily going to change. It's, sometimes getting away from your home, getting away from your family, getting away from your friends, getting away from other influences, and trying to figure things out is the best way to do it. Because, like, right now, I have so many people in my ear. I have so many people in my ear here at home that I need to get away from everybody that's in my ear and figure out between him and I can't, like, include everybody's opinion in my decision. It has to be my decision. So sometimes getting away from everybody, your family, your friends, your coworkers, whatever the case may be, getting away from that situation and having time alone, away from everyone else's opinion, is the best way to make your decision. And I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends in my ear and a lot of family in my ear of the choice, telling me what choice I should make. And I want to base my decision off of what I want to do, not what people are trying to influence me to do. Listen, my daddy, my daddy likes Harry. My daddy does like Harry. Um, he doesn't necessarily like the shit that we're going through at all. And my daddy always tells me, kitten, do what you feel like you need to do for yourself. But yeah, my daddy does like Harry. My daddy liked Justin. I think my daddy was the only one that liked Justin. my, my daddy likes everybody, and that's the problem with my daddy. My daddy is so friendly and he's so amazing, and my daddy is the best guy that I will ever know in my life. My daddy is truly the best guy I will ever know in my life. And the problem with him is he likes everyone. Everyone is a friend of my daddy. Everyone. The first thing he's going to offer you when he meets you is a beer and weed. He's like an old Willie Nelson. You know what though, Rhonda? It's not, I don't even have to tell them bad things. They see it because I wear my emotions on my sleeve. When I come in to work or when I'm hanging out with my friends, they can tell when something's wrong with me. I don't even have to say anything. They can tell, they can just tell. They can tell by my mood, they can tell by my expression, they can tell they know me. They know me so well and I wear my emotions on my sleeve and it's really something that I have to work on. But people who know me know when something's wrong. I don't even have to say a word. They're just like, "What's wrong with you?" They can sense it because they know me that well. And don't get me wrong, like his parents, oh my God. Oh my God, I love his parents. His parents are amazing people. And sometimes I'm just like, and I'll say to him, like, how did you come from two amazing people? How is that possible? How did your amazing, sweet mother give birth to you? But I love his parents. I do. I love being around them. I love hanging out with them. His parents are pretty awesome. They're great people. And, like even his mother, we were having some issues and we were going to he's like, we're going to go to my parents' house. And I'm like, fine. So we went over to his parents' house and he was helping his father in the yard doing some yard work. And his mother and I were sitting there talking. And apparently he told his mom some things that were going on between us. And it's his mother, so she's going to have her own opinion, but she's pretty mutual between the two of us. His mother is very mutual, but his mother even said to me one time his mother said and his father too, they were sitting there, we were getting ready to have dinner, and his parents said, "I can't believe you are still with him." His mother was like, I don't understand why you are still with him. He's such a jackass. And like but his mom and I were talking and I really thought that his mom was going to try to like talk me into staying with him, but she didn't do that at all. She didn't try to talk me into staying with her son. She gave me some great advice. His parents have been married for 55 years. 55 years his parents have been married. And she's like, in 55 years of marriage, she's like, I can tell you it's not easy. It is a battle. It is a battle. She's like, you think that he's not like his father in a lot of ways? She's like, he's just like his father in a lot of ways. So, I mean, she didn't try to persuade me in what decision to make. She just gave me some great advice. She gave me some really great advice. She's an amazing woman. And I've taken her horseback riding. We've gone horseback riding and we've talked. His mother is a great woman. She really is. She's a phenomenal woman. She's very strong, um, and she offers me amazing advice. Well, because she knows that he's a lot like his father, and trust me, like she said, if you think I haven't been through a lot of shit in 55 years of marriage, I'm just a troll. That you know what that is a beautiful thing to say, and you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Yeah, and like so another bomb about the whole situation that I'm in. So this is a problem. A couple of weeks ago, well, it was about 2 weeks ago, I guess, 2 weeks ago. So Quentin, his house is literally right down the street from Harry's parents. Now, did I know that? when I first met Quentin, no. I did not know that Quentin's house was literally right down the street from Harry's parents until I went over there for the first time. And I was like, holy fuck, this is not going to be a good thing. This is not going to be a good thing. So, the first time I ever went over to Quentin's house, Harry went to his parents' house and saw my vehicle in Quentin's driveway. Yeah, that was a mess. That was a mess. But like I said, right, Rhonda, that was a fucking disaster. But like I said, I've been honest with Harry and I told Harry about Quentin. So when he saw my vehicle in Quentin's driveway, he knew where I was. He knew where I was. The only reason why I say it's a big mess is because now that he knows that Quentin lives down the street from his parents, he knows where Quentin lives. And I'm just a little concerned about what may transpire. But the thing of it is that I would never have Quentin at my house. So he doesn't even know where I live. And I would never tell him at this point in the game. I would never even tell him. Yeah. Yeah, it's fucked up. And that's why I really haven't been back. I really haven't even been back. So I'm trying to like distance myself in that situation too. Because I really have to figure it out. Like, what do I want to do with my life? And I keep telling myself, like, Kat, you are going to be 40 next week. You have got to figure this shit out, you know? Yeah, I haven't. I haven't gone there. I haven't gone back. So, of course, I was questioned about it, you know? No, it's not really about security. I think for me, like when I started messing with Quentin, when I met Quentin, let me put it that way. When I met Quentin, Harry and I were already going through a lot of shit. Harry and I had actually like parted ways for a short time. And we didn't speak to each other. Harry and I didn't speak to each other for like a week. And I met Quentin and I started talking to him and he was a nice guy, you know, whatever. And then like, oh, it's so hard. Like, I feel like maybe a part of me is like Quentin is more like payback. I don't know. I have to figure it out. I have to figure it out. But no, it's not about security because I've been on my own since I was 16 years old. You know, like for me, I'm secure. Like I said, I'm secure by myself. I can handle my own. I can pay my own bills. I can take care of my own responsibilities. I'm not tripping on stuff like that. It has nothing to do with security. It's like I said, at the end of the day, no matter what problems Harry and I have, I do love Harry. I do love Harry. I do. 100%. I know I do. But sometimes it just ain't gonna work. And Rhonda, if things don't work out between him and I, that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm probably just gonna. But you know what? I work so much too. Like people don't believe that I work, but I do work. I work a lot. So, you know, I only have like limited time to spend with somebody. So, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna stay by myself. I think that's probably the best decision for me if things don't work out between Harry and I. Is just staying by myself, and I'm fine with being alone. I have no problem being alone at all. But yeah, I will never say Harry's real name ever, 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 because you know everybody thinks of him as Harry, so he will just stay Harry. He will stay Harry. He will forever be the Sector Harry, the Harry Sector, whatever. Yeah, until I figure it out. And by the end of next weekend, I should have it pretty much figured out. But I know I got to do it soon because, like, this is just torture. It's torture for me and it's torture for them, you know? And I don't want to torture anybody and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But at the end of the day, someone's going to end up hurt. You know what? No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm just a troll. If that's what I wanted, I would have had that, you know? I don't really want someone who like brings their work home with them because then I'm going to feel like all of our conversations are going to be work based and I just don't want that. I like somebody who does something different than what I do because then we have different things to talk about. You know, like at the end of the day when I come home from work and when he comes from home from work, you know, we have different stories to talk about. But if I'm with someone in the same profession as I am, then we just talk the same shit and that's boring to me. That's boring. That's boring. I don't even like to take my work home with me, you know. When I walk out the door of work, that's where I leave it. I leave work at work. And being in a relationship with somebody that does the same type of thing that I do, that's primary. That's going to be like our primary base of conversation. And eventually that shit is just going to get old. Like Quentin and Harry do the similar, they do the similar type of profession. Their professions are very similar. The only difference is that Harry owns his company. You know, Harry is a business owner. He owns two businesses, and the two businesses that he owns are they kind of go hand in hand, kind of go hand in hand, but they're not the same. So you know, whenever he gets back, because he's gone a lot, he travels a lot for his business. He does travel a lot, so he's gone a lot, which kind of like works with my schedule. Because a lot of times, like whenever I'm at work until late at night, you know, he's out of town, and then on the nights that he's in town, you know, I'm home. So we kind of coincide our schedules to where, like, you know, he's home when I'm home, or you know, whatever. Well, that's some foul shit if he does that. That's foul. I think that putting out anybody's nudes is foul. I really do. That's some foul shit. Hi, Jay Hoskins. So both men are very successful. Both men have a lot to offer. You know, because I've always said, like, I will not be with a man. I will not be with a man that has nothing to bring to my table but his hungry ass appetite. He has to be successful and make money in some way. If you have nothing to offer, nothing of value, nothing to bring to the table, then you can't sit with me because I'm not going to be the sole provider. I will not. The only two men that I'm responsible for are the two little men that I gave birth to. And that's why there's a lot of men that I will, one in particular, that I will never be physically or sexually attracted to. If you have nothing to bring to my table, I got nothing to offer. Listen, you know what, Jay? This is my theory on that, okay? $12.30 an hour is better than $0.00 an hour. I'm not saying that they have to make as much money as I do, which, you know, if I really fell under troll pressure, which I'm not falling under any fucking troll pressure, I can put my shit out there. I can put my W 2s out there to claim what I make every single year. And I'm not saying that a man has to make as much money as I do, but he has to have something. It's not that I wouldn't date a struggling man. If he's trying, that's a difference. A man can be struggling, but still putting forth the effort and trying his best. And that makes him a man. But then there's a man who is struggling, who's struggling because he's doing nothing about it. That's not a man to me. If you are doing something about your struggle, then I look at you differently. But if you are struggling and you're doing absolutely nothing about it, nah, that's a scrub. That's a scrub. And I don't want to scrub. Listen, I am not a materialistic kind of person. I'm not materialistic at all. Okay. That's why, like, okay, let's go back. Absolutely, I do not expect a man to be a sole provider. Oh no. I just got done saying he does not have to make as much money as I make, but he has to have something. He has to bring something to the table. A relationship is 50-50, okay? But that doesn't include financial. A relationship is 50-50 on effort. I don't expect you to make as much as me or more than me, but you have to be doing something productive with your life. Something productive. I'm not a materialistic kind of person. I will tell you what makes me happy. What makes me happy in life? My children being provided for and taken care of, my children's happiness, my horses, which I spend a lot of time and money on my horses. I'm not even going to lie. I spend a lot of money. Like horses to me are like tattoos to some people. I'm constantly buying and selling horses. It's ridiculous. I need to cut it out. But my horses make me happy. My children's happiness makes me happy. My children's health makes me happy. My children being happy makes me happy. Food on my table, my bills being paid, all of that makes me happy. I put everyone before I put myself. I put everyone before I put myself. Oh, and the only thing that I require, and this is absolute truth, the only thing that I require as far as materialistic things, I get my nails done. That's it. I keep my nails fresh. That's it. That's all I require. Every 2 weeks, I want my nails done. I know, but that's it, though. That's it. I clearly don't care about the latest fashion because I'm a very humble person. If I'm not at work, I spend a lot of time with my horses. So, do you think I give a fuck about being dressed up in a pair of Gucci heels with a Gucci dress? Fuck no. Fuck no. I have said so many times, I am not a dress and heels kind of person. I am a jeans and boots, or I'm dressed like a mother, or I'm dressed like a mother. My 20s are gone, folks. My 20s are gone. My early 30s are gone. And I am okay with that. I am content with that. I am happy with that. My days of being in the clubs and dressed like a whore are over. They're over for me. That's past life. How many men do you know are getting rich from OnlyFans? None. None. First of all, Joseph Hayden. First of all, Joseph Hayden. Society does not teach women to be lazy and encourage it. Are you kidding me? I am by far a lazy woman. Since everybody is so concerned about when I work and when I don't work, let me tell you something. I work 16-hour shifts on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Okay. I work 16 hours a day on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. On Wednesdays and Fridays, I work 8 hours a day. And I work 1 week in a month. 1 week in a month. And then when I'm not working at my job, I am feeding horses, I'm pitching hay, I'm cleaning stalls. I'm baling hay, I'm pouring grain, I'm scooping grain. You know, when I'm not working at my job, I'm working with my animals. So I'm constantly working, and I'm exhausted. Y'all don't even know I'm exhausted. So when I'm at work and I'm in a chat room, it's because like I'm not doing all that much at work. I can't click a link. I can't click a link when I'm at work, but I'm allowed to have in an AirPod and I can listen and I can chat and I can just, type a quick thing in the chat. That's not a big deal. But just because I'm doing that doesn't mean I'm not working. Yeah. Like when my kids were younger, when my children were younger, because all four of my children ride, they all know how to ride. They all know they know everything they need to know about horses and caring for horses, and they used to clean stalls with me, and they used to pitch hay with me, and they used to grain horses with me. They used to do all of that. But as they got older, as my children got over, they were kind of like over that lifestyle. So now, like, to get all four of my kids together to take a ride with me is difficult. It is difficult. I'll tell my kids, I'm like, hey, it's a beautiful morning. Why don't you girls come over and we'll saddle up and take a ride? They don't want to. They're over that life. They're over that life. It is so hard to get my kids to come riding with me. We used to saddle up every weekend and we would go for long rides, just me and the kids, just me and the kids. We would ride all through the lake, we would ride all through the trails, we would ride all over the place. And I would pack a lunch and we'd have a picnic. We'd tie our horses up and we'd have a picnic and then we'd get back on our horses and ride back to the farm. We used to do that. We used to ride in all the parades, the St. Patrick's Day parade, the different parades that would happen here in Kansas City. We were in a saddle club, so we would saddle up our horses and we would take them to the parades and we would ride in the parades. We used to do all of that together, me and the kids. But as the kids got older, they started to shy away from that kind of lifestyle. It wasn't their thing anymore. My daughter's horse, my oldest daughter, my 22-year-old, she has had her horse since that horse was 9 months old. And my daughter was 10, 9, 10 when I got Bella for her because she wanted a baby. She wanted a horse that she could hand raise. Okay. So when I got Bella, Bella was 9 months old. She was a rescue. We rescued her. She was taken from her mother way too soon. So my daughter, my 22-year-old, literally bottle fed this horse. Okay. And she hand raised Bella up until Bella was 3. And that's when we started to do the breaking process because a horse has to be a certain age before you can break the horse. Okay. My daughter was 9 years old and she was dedicated. She was dedicated to this horse. So my daughter's now 22. So Bella is, I don't even know how old Bella is now. But either which way, my daughter started the groundwork with her at a very young age. So by the time she was 3 and my daughter broke her, Bella was so attached to my daughter that she would never hurt my daughter, ever. And to this day, my daughter can go up to the gate and Bella's out in a pasture. She's on 40 acres and she can yell Bella's name and Bella will come running to her. And it fucks me up because I'm like, dude, you forgot you had this horse who loves you so much. And they do. The kids grow up and they move on. And my boys now, like my oldest boy, he just graduated high school. He's into football. He's into his girlfriend. He's getting ready to go to college. My 16-year-old is into driving. He's into football. My 16-year-old used to go to every single rodeo with me. When the other kids stopped going to rodeos, my 16-year-old would still be at every single rodeo. My 16-year-old would still participate in every single rodeo. He used to steer wrestle. Now I can't get him to do a damn thing. So the kids, they outgrew it. So yeah, they don't really help anymore. They've outgrown that lifestyle. They've moved on to different things in life as they've grown up. I was introduced to this lifestyle at a very young age and I've stuck with it my life. My kids have not. And that's okay. My siblings were introduced to this lifestyle at very young ages and none of them participate anymore. I'm the only one. Why did you try to seduce a man who lives with his? I did not even try to seduce a man. Knock it off. Don't come here with that dumb shit. Don't come here with that dumb shit. You're right. It wasn't even really, I wouldn't even call that a club though. Yes, they played music. Yes, they had drinks, but I wouldn't even really call it. And not only that, but time out. It's not like I went out. Okay. It's not like I went out. That bar, club, whatever you want to call it, was in the hotel I was staying at. Hold on. Cat, do you support a bum who lives in his mother's basement bragging about how women would send him thousands? No, I don't support that. I don't support that. And here's my thing, okay? Uh, we all know that the truth gets stretched way beyond what it is sometimes with that particular person. So my question is, if these women were sending you thousands of dollars, why is your vehicle sitting on four flat tires and unable to run? To me, to me, a priority to me, a priority would be having a working vehicle to get to and from my job, or having a working vehicle in case one of my children had an accident, or having a working vehicle just because I'm an adult, because I'm a grown up. So if these people are sending you all of this money, why is your vehicle sitting on four flat tires with peeling paint, unable to start? And if you can't even get that car fixed because it's going to cost more money than what people are sending you, I get it. And you're holding on to it for sentimental value, I totally get that. But why not just buy another car? Listen, my son, my 18-year-old, his first car that I bought him, okay? I bought him his car when he turned 16. I got him a 2000 and something Impala. It was a 2000 something Impala, okay? I paid $1,200 for that car. I paid 1,200 bucks for that car. That car only had one previous owner. It had one previous owner prior to me buying it. I bought it from an attorney who lives in a town called Lee Summit, Missouri. I paid 1,200 bucks for that car. And that car runs its ass off. Now, since because of his graduation, because he graduated high school, he got a new car for graduation. Yes, he did. He got a new car as a graduation present. But still, I paid $1,200 for that car, and that lasted him from the age of 16 to the age of 18. For 2 years, that car ran like a fucking gem. Never had a problem. I never had to do any mechanic work whatsoever on that vehicle. Never a transmission problem, never an oil leak, never a flat tire, never nothing. And all I paid was 1,200 bucks for it. So if you're getting all this money, you can take a shit, you can go on the Facebook marketplace for God's sake and find a cheap car that'll get you from point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be the best looking car in the world. Just let it be something that has four aired up tires that you can turn the ignition and start. You can buy the cheapest fucking car. As long as it has four aired up tires and it fucking runs. My little farm truck, okay? I have a little truck that I use on the farm. It's not a brand new little truck at all by any means. It's, you know what? It's a 90 something. It's a little truck that I use to take shit around on the farm. And I paid $1,000 for that truck. Literally. I paid $1,000 for this little truck. It's a stick shift, but it's in perfect condition. Perfect condition. And I just paid $1,000 for it. But that's different. But that's different, Agent. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. When you live in an overly populated area, when you live in an overly populated area like New York City, most people do use public transportation. They do to get to where they need to go because the traffic is so bad. Even like in Atlanta, The traffic is so fucking terrible. In California, the traffic is so fucking terrible. I get why people don't drive. I get why they take taxis. I get why they take subways. I get why they take the L train. I get why they take all of that. However, do you know how many of those people take public transportation actually do have a working vehicle? They just choose not to drive it because they don't want to sit in like overly populated traffic. A lot of those people that take public transportation in highly populated areas do have a working vehicle. They just don't drive their vehicle because it's faster for them to take public transportation versus sitting in traffic. Agent, it's not even that. I'm saying in that situation, I'm saying in that situation, when you are bragging, when you are bragging about the monetary things that women or people in general are giving you, why are you not doing something productive with that money? Now, this is a person that shits on himself. This is a person that sits and talks shit on so many different people for their lifestyle, for their looks, for the things that they have in life, for the things that they don't have in life, for the makes and models of their vehicles, but yet doesn't have a pot to piss in. That's my point. That's my point. That's my point. Agent Ford, listen, I'm going to say this again. He was recording everything. Okay. Now, if someone is trying to quote unquote rape you, whether if it's man to woman, woman to man, whatever, do you honestly think you're going to try that while someone is recording you? Can we put forth some logic? Not bum logic, but real logic. Can we put forth some real logic? Ladies, gentlemen, hypothetically speaking, because I don't think that any of you would actually try this, but if you had in your mindset that you were going to go rape someone, would you attempt to rape someone who was recording you? Let's keep it real. Would you? Super Sector fan, I have said, and I told him to his face, I do not find you physically or sexually attractive. Even when he sat in my face and told me that he had a crush on me, I told him I have never had a crush on you. I have had an attraction to the roast because I'm not going to lie. LA has given me a run for my money in this fucking game. LA is the only person that I've ever roasted with that has truly exhausted me. So, do I find him physically or sexually attractive? No. Do I find the roast game with him attractive? Yes. It's an attraction to the roast. It is not an attraction to the person. And there is a huge difference. A huge difference. So, no matter how many times he tries to spin his story, all it's ever going to be is a story. Like I said, in all the years that my best friend and I have been best friends, neither one of us, not her, not me, have ever, our taste in men is completely different. She'll tell you that. She will tell you that. Our taste in men is completely different. And that is something that we have always told each other. Like what I'm attracted to, she's not. What she's attracted to, I'm not. But in all the years of our friendship, neither one of us have ever tried to hook up with the same man, with a man behind each other's backs, or what the man that either one of us, like if she found him attractive or if I found him attractive. In all of our years of friendship, we have never, ever once done anything like that. So I want to know, Lamar, what makes you think that you are attractive enough to break the mold? What makes you think you are attractive enough to break the mold? Because, Pumpkin, you're not. You were recording for the purposes of YouTube, and that's all that it was the purposes of entertainment and YouTube. Period. There is nothing about a 44-year-old shitter that lives in his mother's basement that could possibly be attractive to me. To me. I'm not saying to anybody else, but I'm saying to me. And yet he claims that I am so white trash, unattractive, fat, whatever. Oh, now it was when the camera was off. Anyway, right, his sector that so many other people were a part of prior to him coming here, but it's his. Yeah, something he didn't start or create, but it's his. Oh, yeah, yeah. You're only a part of what he says you could be a part of. Guess what? I'm not gonna go nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I don't give a fuck. That could be a troll. It could be. It could be a troll. That might not even been him. I don't care. I wouldn't have let that happen. I went to Michigan with no intention whatsoever of being or sleeping with anyone. Ain't nobody about to kiss and make up. There is no kissing and make up. He's taken this shit too far. He has gone way too far. He has taken this way too far. Okay, so I heard the audio that was played. I heard the audio of some female yelling at him, but I don't know who the female was. I don't know. But I did hear, because I heard it played like multiple times that someone was yelling, "Get off the fucking game." And I think everyone is curious to know what the story is behind that. Was it someone that was yelling at him? Was it someone that was yelling at someone else? Who knows? He wasn't at work during the day. You're right, and he has said himself several times he only works on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. That he doesn't work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So yesterday was a Saturday, so he was at home or somewhere else. Who knows? That was his mom. Don't give him an out. He's holding that L. I don't know. I don't know who it was. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I can only speculate like the rest of you. I can only speculate like the rest of you. So, all right, you guys, it is now afternoon, my time. So I'm going to leave the lake and get home and get ready for work. So you guys have a great day and expect a lot of shit talked on me today. I expect it. So big tuna how it's done. Listen, I think the funniest thing I have heard this weekend was that bitch saying that she's smaller than me. That is the funniest shit I have ever heard. Listen, I did a full frontal challenge with her. Okay. Okay. I had on a pair of jeans and a shirt. And I showed my entire front. I did a full frontal. And I told that bitch to do the same thing. I told her to do the same thing. I said, I challenge you, bitch. I'll do it. You do it. Lift up your clothes and let us see your full frontal. Let us see. Let us see what you're working with, girl. You always talking about how good you look. Let us see. But the bitch won't do it. The bitch won't do it. I told her that if she did it, then we would do a scale challenge. I'll step up on a scale. But the bitch won't do it. She stunts and fronts with the Snapchat filter. She stunts and fronts with lighting behind her, with fake eyelashes, fake nails, fake eyebrows, fake hair color. That's how she stunts and fronts. A face full of makeup. Bitch, take off the makeup, take off the eyebrows, take off the eyelashes, and let's see you natural. Because I've been on here natural multiple fucking times and I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of a frontal. I'm not afraid of a scale. I'm not afraid of no makeup. But the bitch won't do it. I have called that fat whore an uncle fucker for months because she fucked her uncle. And it has been months that I have been telling y'all that. And she has not once denied it. The baby that she claims that she was pregnant with was her mother's best friend's husband. I have the audio proof of that. The audio proof of the baby she claimed she was pregnant with was her mother's best friend's husband. But she has the nerve to talk about the age of mine. She doesn't want to play this game with me because I will roast that hog. Nobody watches her videos or her channel because nobody gives a fuck about a fat racist pig. No matter how much makeup you put on your face, you fat bitch, you are still a pig who lives in a barn. And let me tell you something. The video that I uploaded where she says they were working on the sewer line, there was no sewer line. That was no fucking sewer line. That was piss and shit running out of that bitch's barn that she lives in because she has a makeshift plumbing. She has a makeshift toilet in that barn. There was no sewer line. That is how that bitch lives in piss and shit. She says they were working on the sewer line. Did anybody see any workers? In that video that I uploaded, where there was a stream of piss and shit running through the front of her barnyard, did anybody see any men working on a sewer line? No. Did anybody see any equipment to work on a sewer line? No. When you work on a sewer line, you need a backhoe to dig shit out and you need tools. There was nothing there. Nothing there but a stream of piss and shit. The bitch doesn't want to go there with me. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. I got to get ready for work. Have a good one.